Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha, Racha, Kodash, Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Double honors to my elder, Aharawan Ban Yasharal of the Lions Den camp here in Jacksonville, Florida. Also, salutations to the Sensei Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm in the car, Harab Ban Yasharal, coming out of the Lions Den camp of Yasharal, located here in Jacksonville, Florida. And now today, I'll be coming out with a lesson. I ain't gonna say it was planned, but of course, through the spirit of Yahweh Shemashai, he gave me some scriptures. But signs of the time is the time of the title of this lesson. We see things that are happening, and here recently, with Esau, calling, the drone thing, and very much a possibility that it could be Esau trying to spin the narrative, and actually putting actual drones out, but for the most part, the chariot showing up, wars happening in the earth, uproars of the people, and so many other things are signs of the times. That's how we know what times that we are in. But of course, back to this devil, as a matter of fact, real quick. There we go. As I was saying, this devil, and it can be very much of a possibility that this devil is shooting up drones or throwing up drones to fly over places. That's why they're not being attacked. But then secondly, when it's the chariots for real, because it spooked the flying flip phone out of Esau. He gets scared because he can't do nothing with it. And with this recent, like I say, with these recent drones or anything that's been happening, how they've been appearing over certain sites, but then all of a sudden they're appearing over houses. Like the chariots, when they come, they appear over places like the White House. They appear over places like test sites or launch sites for nuclear missiles and military formations and or sites. Chariots don't really hover over a Edomite's house or somebody that work for the establishment of Edom. FBI, CIA, whatever. But nonetheless, the things that we are seeing, even the drones, everything, that's just signs of the times that the Lord is getting ready to judge this place. But nonetheless, since Esau is trying to spin the narrative and try to desensitize people to it, to the chariots and things that are showing up, Project Bluebeam and such of the sort like that. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. It says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." So we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. He's not going to get an advantage. And the only way he's not going to get an advantage is what if you're being vigilant, diligent, paying attention, knowing the spirit of Yahweh Shai, and knowing what's going on, and of course I'm going back to that drone thing. That's why I would say these drones are not being attacked. They're like, oh, could it be Iran? Could it be China? Could it be this? And they just like all this could, rather than it is or it did come from him. So I was watching a little live feed earlier that my elder Harwan put in the group chat, and they was discussing all those drones and things, and they had to, I don't know, I think he was the General Secretary General of Defense or whoever he was, but he was part of Esau's military, and they touched on the drone thing quite a few times, even though I was half asleep, but they touched on the drones quite a few times, and of course, again, that could be Esau trying to downplay what's going on, or putting drones to desensitize people. So when we start seeing the chariots again, or more chariots start to show up, people are, oh, them drones, they coming from whatever, just Esau trying to flip the narrative. But again, that's why I brought out 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Unless Satan should get an advantage over us, but he can't, because while we are not ignorant of his devices. But nonetheless, it's still signs of the time. Let's continue. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. It says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time." You know what? Hold on. Let's go to. I almost told my page out. Amos chapter 9, verse 8. It says, "Behold, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord Yahweh." So again, the eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom, and the sinful kingdom is Babylon, America. The Lord says he's going to destroy it from off the face of the earth. That's why you see all these things are happening. That's why there are all kinds of signs in the heavens and in the earth. Because the Lord is getting ready to judge this place. Now, back to Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. It says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry." So the vision is yet for an appointed time. The times that this place demise is set for an appointed time. But at the end it's going to speak, and we are at the end. So now guess what? It is speaking. A lot of things that are going on right now. So much so that it's like, it's almost overwhelming. But at the end it shall speak, and it shall not lie. Meaning the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua are going to reign true. Everything that he prophesied before, and the men that followed in the stead of Yahweh said before, guess what? At the end it's not going to lie. Though it may seem like it's taking a while, or it may seem like it's going slow, the Lord says wait for it, i.e. be patient. Because it's going to come to pass. It will not tarry. It will not wait. It's going to happen. And we see it. Because why? Because we're in the end, and it is speaking, and it is not lying. Let's go to Matthew. Matthew 24, I'm going to start at verse 5. It says, "For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many." This is a prophecy, and it has happened. And it is still going on right now. Many have called themselves coming in the name of the Lord, and guess what? They're deceiving many people. Only the elect are the ones that are not going to be deceived and not be fooled about what's going on. Let's continue. Verse 6, it says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet." So we're hearing of wars and rumors of wars. And Yahweh Shah said this years ago, thousands of years ago. Or days ago. We should say that days ago. He said that days ago. Because, a day to the Lord is 1,000 years to us. So the Lord said this a couple of days ago. And we see it. We're hearing of the wars. We're hearing of rumors of wars. This World War III that has already started. It's just got to heat up more. That's already happening. We're hearing about wars. Look at the skirmish, the proxy war that's going on that Babylon America used Ukraine for to go against the bear, Russia. But the Lord says, see that we be not troubled. Don't be bothered by these things. Why? Because these things must come to pass. It got to happen, but the end is not yet. But we are most definitely in the end, but it is not the total end yet. Things still have to happen. Verse 7, it says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places." Are we not seeing nations rising against nation? Look at what's going on right now. Just look at what's going on right now. Kingdom against kingdom. We see this. There are famines in the earth. There are pestilences in the earth. Earthquakes in diverse places, in different places that you wouldn't even believe or think an earthquake could hit. All in the North Pole, the South Pole, all in the Antarctica, Alaska, places where earthquakes don't really be at like that, or could hit. But they're hitting in those places like Mexico and all that. We are hearing about these things. We are seeing it. Why? Because these are the signs of the times. Verse 8. It says, "All these are the beginning of sorrows." So guess what? All these things are the beginning of sorrow. So basically it's going to get worse. It's going to get better, but it's going to get hellified worse. Way worse. By the time the Lord show up, it's going to be complete and utter pandemonium and chaos. And the only ones who are going to be protected in that day, at that time, is the hopeful elect, those that turn back to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Let's continue. Verse 9. I'm going to just go on down to verse 12. It says, then they shall deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And this is what the Lord was telling his disciples then, what was going to happen to them. And guess what? That's applicable to today's time as well. They're going to try to come at the men of the Lord. They're going to be trying to get brothers locked up. That's what it means by delivered up and afflicted and should kill you. They're going to try to get brothers basically unalived. You know, for this truth, for standing for Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. We coming in those times. They if they could do it, they'll do it now. And it says, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And they're gonna hate us for standing for the names of Yahweh Yahushua, for standing upon the truth. They're gonna have a problem with it. Let's continue. Verse 10, it says, and then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. So it's going to get so bad that people are going to be offended at the truth and at each other. They're going to start betraying one another. Why? For lack of bread, for lack of things, lack of morals, and so much more. It says, and shall hate one another again, and false prophets. And this is all future prophecy. That's applicable to today's time. When Yahweh Shai said it, he said it back then, and guess what? It's happening now. It says, and many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. Do we not see many false prophets that have risen up and deceived many? Especially when it comes down to Jake, the so-called Israelite, the Negro, Latino, and Native American so-called, and the speckled bird. These man-made philosophies, beliefs, doctrines, and religion has got our people jacked up. So much so that when the truth is presented to them, they don't receive it. But guess what? They're deceived, and the Lord said that would happen. And many, again, verse 11, and many false prophets shall rise and deceive many, fooling the flying flip phone out of everybody, of those that are not of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, of course. Verse 12, and it says, and because iniquity shall abound, and the love of many shall wax cold, and iniquity, immoral doings, things that are contrary to what the Lord set up, which is right, that's abounding right now in this day and age. And it's ever more abounding until the Lord come destroy it. And the love of many shall wax cold. And that's what's going on right now. The love of many shall wax cold. Once upon a time, you know, you could walk down the street, even if you didn't know a person, and you looked up and you see them, hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? They'll speak back to you. You know what I'm saying? And keep on moving. Now, if you cordial, they'll look at you like, you talking to me for? You know what I'm saying? Be ready to fight over somebody or kill over somebody that's recognizing or noticing their existence. But that's what the Lord said. These things are going to happen, and these things are going to be moving like that. Let's continue. Let's go to the last point. Let's go to 2nd Esdras chapter 9. Come on, not Malachi. 2nd Esdras. Second Esdras chapter 9, verse 1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the times diligently in itself, when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world, which he made. So Esdras was told to measure the times. And guess what? We also were told by Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to measure the times, to pay attention to how we measure the times, by the prophecies that are taking place, by the words of Yahweh Yahushua that was spoken aforetime, before the foundations of these things that would happen. That's how we measure it. And those is diligently, meaning pay attention, stay on point, always watching, a watchman. And the Lord, and he said, well, and when we see part of these signs pass, which the Lord has told us before, then we're going to understand that it is the very same time that the Lord is going to what? Start to visit the world in which he made. And how is he visiting the world? He's visiting the world with chariots, with signs in the heavens and in the earth, uproars of the people, people rising up against their own government and rule setters or instructions. pestilence, people killing each other, or should I say, helping each other finish with all they living, you know, and so much more. That's how we know the signs and the times that we're living in. It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So when we see these things, earthquakes, uproars of the people in the world, so much more, the appearances of chariots, you know, Esau trying to desensitize and throw it off because it went from UFOs to UAPs to UAP is unidentified area phenomenon. It was another one, but I forgot it. But anyways, but nonetheless, and now Esau with his Project Bluebeam and all that stuff, and things are happening. That's how we know the signs of the times, because this devil is trying to keep control. He's trying to keep, a narrative going that has been seen through and destroyed by Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It's like it's like a British comedy that I used to watch years ago called Keeping Up Appearances. That's what this devil is doing. He's trying to keep up appearances, but it ain't working. Things are falling apart in his hands like wet sand, or that what they call that kinetic sand or whatever. When you pick it up, you squeeze it, it's solid, but when you let it go, it just fall apart. That's what's going on with Esau. He's trying to squeeze it solid, but it's still falling apart. But nonetheless, let's continue. Again, verse 4. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the beginning. So like you speak of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. It says, for like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. So there you go. Just like everything that is had in the world that the Lord has made has a beginning and the end, and guess what? The end is now manifest. We see it. It is what it is. It's the end of Esau, but the beginning of Jacob. Going what? Coming back into righteousness. Coming back into his rightful position as being examples of righteousness in the earth. Being the Lord's people as he called us to be. Set us up to be. But again, Jacob with the cosign that he want to do and be like everything else. But this time it ain't going to be like that when the Lord set Israel back up. Everybody going to be righteous. Verse 6, last point. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonders and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs. So even the things that the Lord had created again, they had plain beginnings and beautiful wonders and powerful works that the Lord showed, and endings and effects and signs. So we are now seeing the ending of these things, and they're ending what? Effects and signs. We are seeing it. So it is what it is. Signs of the times. And it's going to be ever more signs to make the end ever more manifest. And with that, Shalom.